let's gear up for another power packed and engaging discussion. Our next panel takes us straight into the reality of modern marketing. The way we reach audiences is changing fast, and creativity is now smarter. Consumer behavior is shifting, and creativity is now lives side by side with AI. Please allow me to introduce the moderator for this session, Mr. Vaibhav Gupta, the co-founder of Higher Growth AI. Please put your hands together in a massive round of applause. He'll be joined by Mr. Arun Nagari Mudalbar, the CEO and founder of eCube India. Joining him, Mr. Don Hatt, the founder of Critics Global. Put your hands together. Joined by Mr. Abhishek Ranankoti, the co-founder and CTO of Pharynx AI. Along with Anjali Dutta, the VP Digital Transformation and Marketing Leader at Tech Mahindra. Joined by Mr. Sadesh Kirkar, the Principal Partner at WPP Media. Put your hands together in a massive round of applause. And last but certainly not least, Mr. Ganesh Dev, the Managing Director of AGE High Voltage Solutions. Please put your hands together for our brilliant panelists. A little bit louder. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we really want to talk about the AI or the big question around AI in terms of how, as marketers, what our role looks like. Is it more orchestrators? Is it more hands-on? How do we see that? And I'll open this question to start off this discussion.
Yes, Vaibhav, a very, very important point which you raised out was basically marketing is meant to convey a message to your prospective market in order to get their attention and engage them. Ultimately, marketing in any business is aimed towards getting those profitable inquiries or leads, which then gets converted into sales or revenue by the sales team. So AI in today's age of 2025, AI has become a big tool for all of us, which can help us to find, first and foremost, find the right niche by doing the data mining. It also helps us to find out the right message which we can give across so that we are able to attract those potential customers' inquiries to you. And AI can also help you in giving the right message which can help them to take a decision so that you can convert those leads into revenue. So this is uh, the point which I would like to state. In this age of marketing, AI can really help you to hasten up the entire process and thereby help you to increase your business.
Well, in my opinion, I think there's three things, right? I call it three Gs. So that means like how you can generate things, how you can like govern things, and then how you can grow things, right? So generate means like, okay, you can use AI to like generate like reports to, generate that initial, conversation, right? Then from there, the governance, right? The compliance, right? What it can do better than the humans, right? And then from there, obviously, you need to have that, checking layer of the human layer, right? Then, use AI to grow because growing is essential when it comes to, today's world and this competitive world, right? And marketing is all about like how you can be very visible through that, like this whole competition, right? So I think, in my opinion, like those three things, which is, how you can generate things faster, how you can, govern things faster, and how you can grow things faster. Three things.
So, according to me, with the help of AI, the marketing is getting from a reactive state to a more proactive state, right? It is getting hyper personalized, and we can do solutions on the go. So, it is more proactive depending on what your user is looking for in a more personalized version. The time to act also is lesser, and the end-to-end goal of serving the marketing is just the first step, but the end-to-end goal of the whole CX journey is getting revolutionized by the help of AI, and this is how it will enhance this.
All right. This is a great question, to be very honest. I'm assuming I'm audible, right, to everyone? Yeah. So again, I don't want to go with a definition of marketing, what marketing stands for, right? But again, the simple question is, we all are consumers. We all go and buy things, right? What really, how do you go and make a decision of buying something, right? Obviously, the technical mind of ours, we do a lot of analysis. For example, if I want to buy a refrigerator, I will actually do a lot of comparison, checking from, all internet data, right? Which one is best one, which one to go for, and so forth. But when you go onto the store, right, or even when you're buying online, you have something at the back of your mind. What is that? Emotional thinking is there as well at some point in time, right? Something that you have used, something you have experience with, something you really love, a brand that you were always using. It's all there, right? So no matter which technology we use, today we are talking about AI, which is artificial intelligence, giving us more power, right, to evaluate, judge, predict, and consume. We also have human who actually still makes a decision at the end of the day what you want to buy, right? So what from my perspective, right, I as a marketer, or I rather I would say, what is marketing is basically what is the value I'm bringing to the end customer at the end of the day, right? In order to make that happen, I'm using a smarter tool which can read data, right? Seems to be more intelligent, as much has time, whereas I don't have time because I have to really figure out what is the emotional connect I have to establish, right? How do I talk to an individual a human way? Yeah, I'm not talking to robots. Yes, I might have a robo in between like a bot, which will definitely make a decision on behalf of a human being. But remember, it's on behalf of human being, right? So I think, it's just another tool that it's making my process much more simpler, much more faster, much more accurate in some scenarios, and I can predict, right? But when I say that prediction, I also have one more statement that I want to make. Do we all always want to be predicted all the time? Does marketers always want to really come up with an idea that what's going to happen? I'm going to design this, which is going to fit in for this season, this person, this time, this period. Not really, right? I want to get surprised. The tools really empower us to really think outside those defined parameters and create something which is unique, memorable, and actually create that emotional connect with the end customer. Yeah.
I think very well said, Anjali. Uh, See, AI, according to me, it's that one friend of yours who's always there at any point of time for you. Uh, I always think that if I was when I was in college, if that time ChatGPT was available, uh, just like I always used to go to my friend to ask for help regarding my assignments, I would have just gone to him and asked for assignment help. So that's how it is. You are at different stages of your life, and then if you just try to connect with a friend, he'll give you an advice. AI is similar to that friend. Today, if I'm actually sitting and trying to get some ideas to create some kind of a marketing strategy, and I don't know where to start from, I could just go and ask a few right set of questions to my friend, and he'll actually answer those things for me. Uh, if I'm sitting with a huge amount of data, and I just want that data to be uh, put it in a very simple kind of a way, I can just go and do that. So AI is something that you use as per your benefit or as per your convenience. It's no rocket science. It's just trying to make life simple and using those tools that are available in the market. If you're able to do that, I think then things are much more simpler as compared to what they look like. So that's all it about it. It's a friend. You use him for all your needs that you have. You can try to uh, be like try to make him in a way that you want him to behave, or if you specifically want to utilize his intelligence, you can do that as well.
More of an obedient friend, I might say, right? Because most of the time, our friends will come back and contradict, don't agree to what we want to say, right? But that's why it looks like AI is an obedient friend.
Yeah, I mean, it can be a friend, it can be a mentor. Like everybody goes on ChatGPT and say, "Hey, act like a professor and help me with this," right? Act like a relationship guide and help me with this, right? So it's up to you what you're asking for, right? So as a marketer, what we do and what it has changed in a marketing agency, right? we used to sit down and research and look at the competition, what they're doing, how they're doing, come up with a marketing plan. Now I can do that in click of a button. We have an automation where I just plug in my spreadsheet, it gives me all the answer. All I have to do is spend some time with my team, do a brainstorm, and the marketing strategy is ready. Right? Again, it is backed by the decades of experience and all that, but things are faster. Just to give you an example, just to convert a client to get a website done from us, right? It used to take lots of follow-ups, callings, meeting, in-person meeting. Now it's different. I go prepared. I go with a prototype. One call, one impression, it's done and dusted. So yes, AI is a friend, mentor, an automation tool, whatever you want to call it. It's going to help you the way you use it, right? So yeah, we are orchestrator. I would say we used to do things. Now we have to think better, be a better thinker. If you can think better, AI can help you to make it happen.
So before we actually move on, right? This is a very interesting point that you made, and actually takes us back to what we were discussing in the morning today, right? There was a lot of deliberation on the topic of, do we really know the problem that we are solving for? But you know something, do we know the problem we are solving for? That entire statement has a very beautiful thing in itself. It's all about problem, right? It's all about something that exists. But are we really thinking, going deep into it? There is something that doesn't even exist, but are you really imagining something out of the box, completely different, right? Those kind of or when I say a problem, there are a lot of visible problems and there are hidden problems, or rather I would say needs and wants, right, which are not even announced. There was a time when we used to always wait for obviously find time, go back home, cook food, and then just get relaxed. But today, with a click, right, or with a voice call, I can have food of my choice prepared and delivered at my place, the place of my comfort, the place where I want, right? So there was always a desire of having that comfort. Technology made that happen, right? But we have to go back. What is that one thing that we always miss when we talk about marketing strategy, what, why, and how, all kind of things, is basically, do you really do a recce research about what humans need, what they do day in day out, what are those challenges, what are those interesting opportunities which are not even covered? But you can only do it when you understand the entire activities a person does or an individual does, right? So what is very important right now is to understand that part, what I want to do, why I want to do, and how I want to do it, right? And that's really important. Another thing that, Ganesh, that you talked about is the fact that today, with the advance of technology and AI coming into picture, I can do quick research, but that's again defined on predefined data which is there in the system. I can use that data, but there is no question to human intelligence and human analysis and on ground reality check that you have to do to validate the data that's coming out, right? So AI is another tool. It is meant for intelligent people to use it wisely, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of really interesting points mentioned here. I just want to give you a conclusion there. One of the interesting part that I see as marketers is that while we build AI agents, AI systems, AI tools, whatever you want to call it, the expertise to use that is very crucial. So speaking from my experience, so I run a AI marketing agency in Southeast Asia. We first started with building AI agents, right? We built X agent, Y agent, Z agent, and all that sounds great. But when we gave it to a client or when we gave it to a customer, they didn't really understand. It's like we show them how to build a website, but they don't really understand what the refinement needed in that, right? So the realization for us was we needed some level of expertise. And I think as marketers, we see this as a trend where AI agent sounds great, but if there's no human expertise to pair it with, it will most likely fail. And then it comes to my second question: who owns that part, right? We talk about AI agents being amazing, but a lot of times there's a lot of breakage. I think we can talk about the websites part. I'm pretty sure he can tell you multiple times where the website has certain breakages, especially if we use AI systems. Who owns it? Is it the CTO? Is it the CMO? Or can we head it off to finance and just blame them?
Yeah, the panel discussion, the subject is very, very interesting. What we talk about is bots, brains breakthrough in the marketing of 2025. And as we very rightly said, many of us, that ultimately in today's VUCA world, which is transferring to Bani, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. Now it's shifting towards being very brittle, very anxiety-ridden, incomprehensive, and it's highly complex. Uh, AI can be a real help for us to uh, identify what is the pain point, because ultimately, if you analyze any business, why does the customer buy your product? He buys it because he wants to have a relief from the pain and he wants to have a pleasure, he wants to have a solution. Now, AI can be a big tool for us to understand the known need of the customer, even the unknown need. And sometimes, using those data mining, it can even project the forecasted anticipated need, and it can also do the data mining, find out as to what is the ideal product which can be useful to identify that or solve the pain, and also give you the opportunity to send the right message across to your prospect. So all these functions of marketing, which we used to earlier do through laborious days on intensive work, can be done in a fraction of in a days, what used to take sometimes days, months, and years. So that's what we are here for. I think AI as a tool can really give you a big breakthrough in your profitability, revenue, income, scalability, and thereby help businesses across geographies, across scale. I think it's made into a very plain field now. I think as we have seen, the other day we were very proud to know at 22-year, 3 people have become billionaires, youngest billionaires. All it is possible because of the power of AI, which we are all have the tool available with us.
So if I may take that question for a minute. So it's a very good question that you asked, right? Where, we have this, a CTO, CIO, and CMO organization, right? And when it comes to actually delivering a value, right? Ultimately, everybody need to be responsible for it. But the biggest challenge in today's world, and that I don't think we still have a solution to it, is that people still think very siloed because of large scale organization. Everybody has a different budget, everybody has different objectives. We still don't have a unified view and a method to solve everything in totality. AI and these automation tools and methods are giving us enough good visibility as smarter dashboards that make all of these departments see everything in totality, right? And then they can make a unified decision. Another thing I will just say, if any damage has happened, if you are not happy with one of the product that you have bought, right, or any leak happens, it's a bad experience and the brand image goes for a toss. You don't make a call to a CMO, right? You don't make a call to a CTO. It's just brand gone forever, right? So more than else, what we need to do, we need to understand all of these departments need to have unified view. And that's a reason there is now top-down training in terms of these smarter tools happening. And we also are bringing AI as part of the board as well. That lot of organization, I means organization overall that I want to say.
AI is like that intern who's a little bit drunk. Ultimately, the human element and the ultimate final decision has to be taken by the human being. So even though all the head work can be done by AI, but the hard work has to be done by we human beings.
Let me add a quick one for this, right? I think like it's about narrative, right? Like three things like narrative, system, and then the signal, right? So like AI can't, like, I mean, can up to a certain extent control the narrative, but then, adding to your point, right? Like the human has to take the final narrative, final decision, right? How to humanize whatever the bots or whatever the AI is giving up, that output, right? Then systemize it because you need a proper system to work a machine, right? Then the third thing is signal. What does the AI is giving and that signal is, and then but how that signal can be humanized. Those three things I think like that determine
Just
whether
to yeah, just to add on to that, just to prove that right, there are jobs right now to humanize the AI generated content. So,
So nicely said was the unified platform. What I feel is that different departments in the organization are doing are using AI in a very fragmented way, right? The whole view of the data nurturing is not happening. And I was having a talk with one of professors, and he was saying that the with the help of AI, now everyone can be a 7 out of 10. person, right? So because you have the leverage of tools, they are doing things which you wanted in a way, but the main gap will be how to be from 7 to 10 or 7 to 9. There you need an expertise. There you need a unified platform in itself, a guidance, guardrails, so that you can build a POC very fine, but while scaling, it will take you guidance and expertise. And rightly said, unified platform is what we need, because fragmented work will result into hallucinations and different things.
See, in fact, hello. So one thing which I always feel is it's mostly from a point of view of the difference in the KPIs that every department follows. So you might want a one single unified view, but the KPIs given to all the departments are different. So every department will actually go and try to take a tool which is trying to take them closer to the KPI they are following. At the end of the day, we all are following one single KPI, which is business. We all want to get as much sales as possible of our product. Uh, I think somewhere we need to come forward, think from that point of view that if at all it's a marketing department, a sales department, or is it a revenue department, what is that one single goal that we all are going towards? And with that particular thing, those silos can be broken then. And that's where a single AI tool can come in. Because see, today, if you go to a CMO, he'll just say that, hey, I want a tool which will help me get more acquisitions. Okay, now what is the definition of acquisition? It could be prospecting, which could be leads, it could be direct sales, or it could be as simple as saying that, hey, I want uh, my website to get as much traffic as possible, which could be quality traffic or anything of that sort. Now you go same thing to a CMO, to a CFO. He might have a different set of logics or different set of things to him. Now, putting all these together, if you try to figure out a tool, I think those different tools will have to then work towards one single goal. And that's how the AI should go.
No, that's a very good thing. Today, we are in a world of workflow structure, right? Again, you people can also, I think a lot of us have talked about it in the previous panels as well, right? There are a lot of different tools doing some activities as part of the workflow. Today, a lot of revenue will be generated if you are able to bring that and construct a workflow that works for a particular business requirement. Uh, and be it marketing, be it technology structure, be it, whatsoever we talk about, right? The need is of strategy. Do you understand your current as is process? Do you understand your current business model? And where you think you can actually bring in automation, right? And then where is that you can actually replace, few repetitive, boring human activities to something that can be done through AI and other
See, in
and
fact,
so
that,
forth.
that brings us to one question. Okay. And I think this is something which everybody might have in their mind. If you're trying to get everything together, so much data with the AI, and like I would just want to hear all of your viewpoints as to do you think the data which is there right now, which you're feeding to the system, is this the right thing to do, or is it a secured way to do it, or something of that sort?
Yeah, I think the data is one big concern for a lot of companies. One of the things that we try to do is build a separate system and host the whole data that we're using. So instead of doing a large language model system, we are doing a small language model system where the data training is happening separately. So this is an example of HSBC Thailand. So when I started Higher Growth, I pitched this AI agent for their marketing side, and they basically said, look, the place where we are at, we just cannot share data with any system, even if they say that there's no sharing. So we decided, okay, we will try to create, because Thailand has its own privacy laws. So we try to build something for them, and it has given us good results. So I agree. Actually, I would not recommend, even if you use the most premium version of any LLM, to use that for data training. You create your own systems. You make sure that your data is not being used or shared, or there's any risk, because most teams will have that concern, right?
But this comes at a cost, building something of your own. So what is the alternate way for it?
So I'll
One
take
one
that.
dimension which I wanted to just bring forth in this panel discussion was, as an author of two books on sales and marketing, it is a known fact that 50% of your marketing budget is normally wasted. and 50% works. And most of the marketing organizations don't know which one works. So AI is a tool which can help us to find out as to which is those strategies, which is those communication, which is helping us. So that is one important thing which I feel is going to be very useful for every business organization. One more myth which I want to break is many people have a illusion or a fear that AI is going to replace human being. No? I feel that AI is the difference is only this: people who use AI and people who don't use AI, or organizations which use AI and organizations which do not use AI. I think the clear-cut verdict is the people who use AI will be replacing the people who don't use AI. Similarly, organizations which use AI are the people who are going to come out winners in this game of business.
As a marketer, and considering that we are sitting in a marketing panel, I just would like to disagree that we don't know 50% of the spend is being wasted. I don't think it's 50%. I
So,
would strongly disagree that.
What I'm talking about is actually a basic research. In fact, marketing expenses is one thing which every CEO and every CFO always dreads, because they always plan and have a very high hyper this thing about what it's going to produce, but nobody is able to pinpoint exactly which strategy and which particular action really meant. And what I'm talking about is absolutely from a research.
Unfortunately, people hire us for that. So, just to add on to that, how do we secure the data? There are ways, but before I say that, I want to quote that I am a computer engineer turned marketer, and computer was my first love, I would say, right? And that drew me to called as ethical hacking. And one thing I learned when I was in my college, privacy is a myth, yeah, and security is an illusion, right? So just go for it and do it. That is the attitude you need, and reach to your outcome. Now, how do you implement that? There are enterprise versions, right? Which kind of you do a separate agreement with them, so you know what you're getting into. Apart from that, there are community version. You can self-host it. You can put it on your premises, and you can do all that, right? Just to give you a word that everybody talking AI. There's another thing that is going on is N8N, which is basically an AI automation workflow tool, right? People are not getting there, uploading data and not doing automation, not getting into agentic AI because they fear that all my flow, all my ideas will be copied and blah blah blah. Don't for, don't fear about it. There is a platform where you can take the N8N community version, install it, host it just like your own website, and run it on your own if you're fearing. But don't miss the boat. This is an opportunity.
I think, yeah, I think good point there, Ganesh. I think most importantly, what you need to really understand and ask yourself when you are deciding an AI strategy and AI implementation for your organization is, can we save money or can we make more money out of it? So money is something that every organization, income, revenue, profit, that's one thing that you need to understand. Okay, can we make more money out of AI using AI, or can we save more money using AI? That's number one. Number two is time. Can we save time using AI, right? Or can we add more time back into our schedules using AI? Number three is convenience. Can AI help us to do our work better, save more and more time for us, and make our lives more easy? Number four is risk. Can AI help us to mitigate the risk and avoid the risk if possible, right? Those four things, and adding into what you just said, right? If you can focus, any business can focus on those four things and use AI effectively in those four things. I think that's the key to like
It's
go forward.
funny.
Yeah.
It's funny. 4 months back, I was thinking about the same topic, the unified dashboard, and I vibe coded it. So I'm looking for an investor, right? And it's a great platform to announce that. It's a dashboard that I created. It is specifically defined for a CMO, for a CTO, for a CFO, for a marketer, for a customer support. If you're a D2C brand, it's a gold mine for you. Plug in your data sheets, your Metapixel, your Google Ads, your Search Console, everything at one place, and it only shows that dashboard which is required for that department. Your customer support, unified, omni-channel, your WhatsApp, your Instagram DMs, your LinkedIn messages, everything at one single dashboard, and has a separate view for each department. Because handling an agency and managing all this for other brand, it made it like tedious job. Sitting down and thinking, went on Google Studio and wipe coded entire thing in 2 days. So just give
Very,
FYI.
you're exciting me to make this statement. You are actually now giving an evidence, right, that how there are no silos, right? You see, marketer is actually a developer, right, and also
I'm a
and an
computer engineer
investor.
turned marketer,
Yeah,
so
yeah, and an investor. So the point that we are trying to make, right? I think now we all are actually driven by strategy more than just doing the deliverable or tactical things, right? We are more getting strategic in our nature.
And concluding the point of data, as Ganesh said and Vaibhav said, to conclude that, rightly said N8N, and there are workflows which we can host, right? And as Vaibhav said, there are SLMs which we can put on, and the cost can't be just directly scratch. We can use the baseline models and fine tune it and leverage it according to the use of enterprises.
I think that's a really great thing. So the reason why I wanted to bring this point up is this is something which whenever I go for a meeting with a CTO, a CMO, or a CIO, this is the point that always comes up. I've spent hours and hours convincing them that, see, the data is safe. We are not just using the data directly. There are clean rooms that we are using. We're getting those data through those clean rooms. The data is getting hashed. There are multiple layers of security which is happening. But we get this simple question that my data is not something which I can give up for. See, I'm just saying that you don't go for the larger set of data when you want to just pilot things up, but at least start with a small pilot and see how things work out. AI is something which is very brilliant. It can actually do wonders to you. It can turn tables like anything, but you just need to take that one step ahead and get into that particular thing to try something. Unless until you try that thing, nothing is going to happen. So try with a smaller piece, but do it.
And we've talked about strategy. Now, I just wanted to share with you one of my experience as a entrepreneur plus a consultant for 30 years. Strategy and your culture, when they are in unison, then you can eat your competitor for breakfast. But if your strategy and your culture is in variance, then the culture of your organization will eat your strategy for lunch. And this is actually a truth which all of us have known. That's why, we all talk about strategy, but we never have to forget that ultimately the culture of an organization is equally important. And one more research has shown that irrespective of whatever may be the advancement in all technology, be it AI, robotics, there are two skills which are going to be mandatory for all business. One is people skill and one is selling skill. These two are going to be there irrespective of whatever may be the technological advancement. So these are again research based, which we have seen.
I think we can, as you can imagine, we can do this for 2 hours. But we've been very clearly told that we have to end at 11:40. So I'll just do a small conclusion. I think the main thing that we see is there's a lot of different and good opportunities here. I think Don mentioned the most crucial thing right now, while we are finding value, is to cut costs. I think the bigger play also will be the token usage of those LLM systems. One of the things that we are doing at High Growth is we have exclusive partnership with Alibaba for all their LLM systems. So we not only, so if you would know, there's different versions coming out, and there's a China variation and the international variation. So international variation is 2 months behind. One of the things that I feel will be another advantage on cost saving as well as new iterations is to get the China model for your international expansion. That's something that we are one of the first people to work on, and hopefully that should work. So what we are trying to do is two things that I think Don already mentioned: find the value but cut cost. I think there's different paths, as we've tried to show, different ways to opportune and to identify them. But yeah, I think I will leave it to questions if anybody has some. Can someone pass on the- Yeah.
let's end the question on the FOMO of AI, that everybody's thinking I'm too late. You know?
Yeah.
So basically, I'll just break it down for everybody in a simple word. Everybody's thinking that AI, it's a big rocket science or something. No, it's a simple tool that anybody can use, right? Everybody's have a fear that am I too late? Is it? I'll just put it this way, right? It's like that season on Netflix, which people waited every year for the new version to, new season to come and watch. Don't worry. Imagine yourself that already 4 seasons are there. You can go and brush up and just watch all the 4 season and get on top of the speed and get going, right? So just to break it down, LLM three stages. AI basically LLM model where all the text and chat and all of that came in. Then the image generation came in, then the video generation came in, right? In the next model, it was agent AI, which could use certain tools. You could connect your data sheets, instinct, people. It could create PPTs and stuff like that. Now we are talking agentic AI. What is agentic AI? AI LLM model, which has a LLM model things. It is an agent which can use tools. Now it can automate. That is agentic. So it's just three things, right? Start using it, and you'll get up to the speed like in no time.
Yeah. Last, before I know everybody's going to be hating us, but one thing I want to leave you people to think, right? Uh, for how long you would love to actually see something that is made out of AI? I asked that question with to my team. For how long you would love to create a video made of AI, right? They said, yeah. There was a silence. With that, I think we can end the panel, right? So humans can't be replaced. Emotions can't be erased, right? We can use different tools to narrate those emotions and connect with humans at the end of the day. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening.